Hi guys, this is Allison on the Oh So Sensitive channel, and I want to share with you all my first perfume diary of the year. These are perfumes I wore over the course of a week, and I want to share my thoughts with you about them. So if you're interested in that, then please stay tuned. Hi, Allison here on the Oh So Sensitive channel, and I am back in 2021 with a new video. And this is the first video in a series I'm doing that's basically my weekly perfume diary. And the impetus for this is that I am using my planner that I designed. Created this just so I could have a way to keep track of my scents of the day or plan my scents of the day. And then at the end of the week, I just kind of look over what I wore, write some notes in my journal, in the journal section, to just give my thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like. So if there's something I didn't like, I remember not to do that again. And specifically, I'm referring to layering. I like to try layering combinations. So I'm glad that I have this diary for myself, or this planner, so that if a layering combination doesn't work out, I know that. And if a layering combination is amazing, I know that, even though that's harder to forget. So Sunday, I visited my best friend's church, and it was cold, and I wanted to wear something that was thick enough to cut through the cold weather. It was really cold, like freezing. So on that day, I wore Sofia by Sofia Vergara. Layered on top of Dark Temptation by Be Layered. So Dark Temptation is Be Layed's dupe of Oud Bouquet. I've been wanting Oud Bouquet for a while, but I think I'm going to pass on getting Oud Bouquet because it seems like they've done a pretty big reformulation. I've been going to the Lancome website and just kind of checking out the bottle, kind of like window shopping. But at the same time, I read the reviews, and the latest reviews, people are upset. They say that the bottle has been repackaged and they don't like the repackaging. They say that the juice itself has been reformulated and it doesn't last as long. So I probably won't get Oud Bouquet. I probably would just use up my decant or my travel spray of Dark Temptation and then move on. But I wore these two together. Sunday was really cold, like bitingly cold. It snowed later in the week. That's how cold it was. Like Sunday was ushering in the snow. It was so cold that even when I went to my best friend's church, I still felt cold, and someone had to like loan me their sweater. But this really was perfect for cold weather. This combination was dark and heavy, and it cut through the cold air. The sillage was really nice. This on its own is a powdery, rosy, oudy smell, which isn't surprising because it's inspired by Oud Bouquet by Lancome. But on its own, the powderiness can be intense. But when layered with this, which is more of a dark, fruity, celebrity perfume version of Coco Mademoiselle, to me it's closer to Coco Mademoiselle Intense because I think it does have tonka bean in it. But basically, these two together are really beautiful. This one it performs well on its own, and it smells good on its own, especially on clothes as far as the lasting power. I remember the first time I brought this home, I sprayed it in the bathroom on something like a cotton swab, and my bathroom smelled like this for weeks. Like, it took forever for that smell to leave my bathroom. I didn't have to do any type of air freshener because the smell stayed in my bathroom. But this together smells really expensive and rich and dark. If you like dark, fruity, heavy scents that cut through the winter air without smelling too vintage or old-fashioned, then you'll like this combination. So the rest of the week, I went in the opposite direction of what I wore on Sunday. But that combination may end up being what I wear every Sunday. I feel like every Sunday when I visit my best friend's church, I'm going to wear this with something else or by itself. Like that'll be my signature scent for her church. But the rest of the week, the theme was on white and yellow florals because I got a hold of the Passion Body Lotion from Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works discontinued this. You can't get it in the store, at least for now. They may bring it back. But I found someone on Mercari who was selling their bottle. And I've been wanting this because I have so many perfumes that have Ylang Ylang and tuberose or Ylang Ylang and white florals. And I just thought this lotion would be perfect for layering, especially some of my perfumes that have that combination but don't last as long. So I wanted this for the longest because I just need the perfumes that I love the smell of to last longer. I don't want to get rid of them because I love the smell, but it's frustrating when you love a perfume as far as it smells, but it doesn't last long. So with that in mind, I wanted to try out different perfumes with this lotion, and that's what I did. So on Monday, I wore Cabotine de Gres. This one is, you smell the aldehydes, you smell the dark fruit, you smell the ylang kind of like blended in there. It doesn't stand out. And you smell the tuberose for sure. But this one, the sillage on this is really nice. The performance is really nice. I get compliments every single time I wear this. And when I wore it this past week, it was no different. Then after that, I wore Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere. So Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere, when I've worn it in the past by itself, it's kind of close to the skin. Doesn't last that long. So I usually carry it in my purse and do a retouch or a respray. But layered on top of this lotion, Passion by Bath and Body Works with the notes of tuberose and Ylang Ylang, this was amazing. The sillage went up quite a bit. The lasting power was all day. By the end of the day, it was softer as far as the sillage. I could still smell it, but the sillage was softer, or the projection was softer, but it still carried. When I first wore this, it kind of had a bit of a cloud around me, but eventually it was more like a soft cloud that wasn't a skin scent, but it was still closer to me than when I initially wore it. But this one, I just kept throughout the day sniffing my sweater and just being like, smells so good. It's such a feminine, pretty, beautiful combination. Like ultra feminine, but soft femininity, not aggressive or sultry femininity. This is soft femininity, especially when layered on top of this lotion. So on Tuesday, I wore Lilylang by Sylvaine Delacourte. I usually layer these two together, but with that body lotion, I didn't want to layer these two together. I just wanted to wear them on their own to see how they perform with the lotion. And this one performs really well. Honestly, it performs really well on its own anyway. The projection, whenever I've worn this, is really good. It takes over the room and people will mention it like, oh, what's that smell? But when I layered it on top of this lotion, it really projected. And I smelled the breadiness in this more. When I wore this and walked into my office, my graduate assistant was like, it smells like bread. And I was like, bread? So then I had her smell my wrist and she was like, yeah, it's that. So my perfume came off to her like a bready, yeasty smell. And once she said that and I kind of paid attention, I was like, I can kind of pick up on that. To me, I still smell the white florals. So honestly, it's like what she said. She said it reminded her of the smell of sweet Hawaiian bread. It's a really popular bread here in America that people serve alongside dinner. Basically, it's especially popular for the holidays, to have your big holiday dinner and some Hawaiian bread rolls. And that's pretty much what this was smelling like when layered on top of here. Like, I smelled the florality in this, the tuberose and the ylang ylang, but I still picked up on something that was kind of yeasty. In the past, I've said this smells nutty, almost like cashews, but layered on top of Passion, whatever creates that nutty smell came off more like a bread smell. So after that, I decided to pull out Tom Ford's Black Orchid Eau de Toilette. I've recently been just reading up on it on Fragrantica, and apparently it's been discontinued, so now I'm gonna hold on to this for dear life. But I wore this, and in the past when I've worn this, I've layered it on top of Coco Body Lotion by Chanel, but I layered it on top of Passion instead, of course. I didn't like this combination. This combination came off kind of screechy and like a bit of a aftertaste effect, as far as like feeling like it was kind of sitting in my throat. And after a few hours, I was just like, I don't like this anymore. So I picked up my Coco by Chanel. Sprayed that on top, and that combination ended up being better. So basically, I had a combination of Passion Body Lotion, then Tom Ford Black Orchid Eau de Toilette, and then Coco Eau de Parfum by Chanel. The final result, I was much more pleased with it, but it's not something that I'm going to repeat. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to layer all of these together again. This Coco by Chanel, I just want to wear it on its own. I love this. I've been testing this for a while, and I think they must have done like a reformulation, because the original bottles, when I was testing this months ago, I smelled the spiciness more, but now I smell like a really sweet floral opening. But I love it. I've seen some people on Fragrantica say they hate the reformulation, and some people have said they emailed Chanel, and Chanel claims that they haven't reformulated anything. It smells different to me. So on Thursday, I had to try my favorite perfume, my favorite white floral and yellow floral combination, and that's Prada La Femme Intense. I love the smell. This one, it has a bit of powderiness, but it's not as dusty of a powdery type of smell. A lot of my other perfumes have a powdery smell, are reminiscent of body powder, not necessarily baby powder, but expensive body powder that would come with your Chanel gift set, for example. But this one, the powderiness just, it's a different level. It smells more expensive, like more expensive than a powder you would get from Chanel. It just smells like it would be a high-class body powder, and it would be really finely milled, but when you dust it on you, it will blend in perfectly, and it would mattify your chest area, but also make you smell really good. This is the perfect blend as far as the smell, the perfect blend of tuberose and ylang-ylang. I love this combination. It has patchouli in it as well, but the patchouli doesn't stand out. I think the patchouli was well blended to give this some depth and some base, some depth in the base. But the only problem is it doesn't last that long. But layered on top of this, I've finally found my combination to make this last without really changing the smell. In the past, I would layer it with Tom Ford's white patchouli. I have a travel spray of that. And then recently I tried it with one of my Daisy Fuentes perfumes, and it actually layered with that really well. That combination made me realize that my Daisy Fuentes Passion perfume is actually quite close to the smell of white patchouli. But that combination, particularly the Daisy Fuentes one, changed the smell more than I wanted it to. I really love the smell of Prada La Femme on its own, and I don't really want to change the smell. I just want to make it perform better, and it does with this combination. It lasts all day layered on top of this lotion. The projection is moderate, I would say. Well, when I first wear it, I would say the first hour, the projection is strong. But I'd say after 2 to 3 hours, it's moderate. And then at the end of the day, it's soft and close to the skin, but it still smells beautiful. And I'm just so happy to finally have something that lasts a long time. And then on Saturday, that was the chill day, that was the Sabbath, and I didn't wear anything. That's my perfume diary, my first perfume diary of the year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. And if you have any questions or requests, then please let me know as well.